Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
Come on, hurry up with the intro music so I can get this started. Here we go. Let me ask you a question, my friend. You ever get impatient? You ever get frustrated? You ever get annoyed? You ever wish people would just hurry the fuck up? That's because you're masculine, my friend. And today we are going to talk about those seemingly negative qualities that masculinity generates, but that you, when you experience them, know come from masculinity when they happen. And yes, frustration, impatience, irritability does come from that. But we're also going to talk about how using the other areas of masculinity, such as discipline, self-restraint, self-monitoring, and self-realization, can allow you to leverage those negative attributes of masculinity to take you to the next level. Absolutely love recording podcasts like this one. I just went to the gym and I have war flowing through my veins. I'll tell you what, gentlemen, over the winter, I have something to admit to you. Kind of got back to the old chicken McNugget with tits look. Indulged in that place. Have you ever heard of this place called Raising Cane's? It's like a chicken place where they fry the chicken. Oh my hell. That shit is so good, man. So I came a little unpeeled, I got a little undisciplined, and I would go there maybe about once a week and eat that crappy ass food that tastes so good. I don't know if that place is heaven or hell, maybe a little bit of both. And I started to get the chicken McNugget with tits look. And I gotta be honest with you, man, it happens to me time and time again whenever I let myself go just a little bit. Like I'm talking maybe 3 pounds around the midsection. Dude, that completely lowers your testosterone, completely takes the edge off of your masculinity. And me, as well as my boy Hong Yi in the coaching program, what is up, Hong Yi from Australia, fucking champion, we're cutting right now. And I'm down to my usual weight, about 10% body fat. And oh my hell, is my testosterone going through the roof? Is my masculinity going through the roof? And I cannot suggest getting rid of as much body fat as possible to up your masculinity. And when your masculinity goes up, you have more energy, you have more motivation, you just want to fucking crush goals. You're actually excited when challenges come up, which is a hugely masculine trait, that you are enticed, you are excited, you are pushed forward by the thought of challenges. And when you go to the gym, you jack weights like a goddamn Spartan. And I want to suggest to you guys to listen to my playlist on Spotify, Mark's Lift Heavy Ass Weights. We just passed 1,000 followers, which is pretty gangster. I actually showed that to Marissa the other day. I was like, yo, I'm more proud of these 1,000 followers than the 3 million plus downloads I have on my podcast, because that's sick, dude. Thinking about all you champions out there listening to the same music I'm listening to as we're jacking those weights. So the point of this episode is to talk about those seemingly negative things that come out of masculinity that, when you experience them, are a sign that you are indeed stepping into your masculinity. I just tried to record telltale sign. Is that the way it's said? But I told Liam to leave it out, but now I'm including it so you guys can laugh at me. Is it telltale, tall tale sign? I don't know which it is. Whatever. It's a sign that you are stepping into your masculinity. So the first one, impatience. Do you want results to happen faster? Do you want people to hurry the hell up? Do you want to get through this goddamn podcast episode so you can get to the next one and learn as much as you possibly can? That is a sign, brother, that your testosterone is up. That is a sign that you are stepping into your masculinity. And I want you to be proud of yourself because, yes, you are impatient. Now, if the impatience takes you over, such as when you're waiting in traffic and you don't have the wherewithal and discipline to be able to control that masculine impatience inside yourself, that's where the problem lies. But awareness alone is curative. So when you feel yourself getting impatient, when you don't feel like you're progressing with girls fast enough, you're not getting ripped fast enough, you're not making enough money, whatever it is, that is a sign that you're in your masculinity. And guys, masculinity is so absolutely important for heterosexual men like you who want to get to the next level. What we need to do as unapologetic alpha silverbacks is up our masculinity and up our testosterone as much as possible. But obviously, there are some quote unquote negative side effects that happen, one of which is impatience. But if you're impatient, simply take it as a sign and have more discipline than your impatience wants you to have. Discipline is simply this. It is acting on your higher motives, not your lesser motives. Your higher motive is to become a girl magnet. Obviously, it's why 90% of you guys listen, and that is a beautiful higher motive. I absolutely support it because I too want to be and am that girl magnet, and I'll tell you, it's absolutely worth it. And sometimes your results are going a little slower than you predicted. It's funny to me. I have dudes come into the program and they get all pissed off and fired up when they're not getting like sick duck and threesomes in week fucking 3. And I'm like, yo, let's be realistic here, man. Like, NLP is an accumulative thing. It takes a little time. Yeah, a lot of my guys get success that quickly, but let's be realistic. We have 6,000 weeks of bad programs to unravel. So slow down there, Turbo. It's going to happen. But I like it when I see that because it shows me that he's highly in his masculine energy. He wants results and he wants them now. The trick, of course, is to recognize that inside yourself and don't let it take you over, hence having discipline. Acting on your higher motive, which is to be a controlled rock of Gibraltar, which is what every woman wants, not your lesser motive, being impatient and freaking out and getting angry, which by the way is feminine, when you don't get what you want. The second thing is frustration. Gentlemen, I am the most easily frustrated guy you've ever met in your life by nature. But because I've worked on myself so much, my patience, my ability to not let that frustration take me over has grown miles upon where it used to be. I'm talking, it used to be a fucking 1-inch rope where I would just be frustrated the second anybody did anything annoying. I'm easily irritable. It's a bad quality. And you know what? I think I passed it on to my daughter. And it's funny because the other day my daughter was being super annoying because she was irritated. And I said to my brother-in-law, she is so annoying when she's like this. And he's like, there you go. You're the reason she's like that. And I was like, oh, boom, man, that's absolutely true. So I get irritated easily, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do. It's a symbol of masculinity, but the point, of course, is to be bigger than those negatives that come out of having high testosterone, having high masculinity. Do people irritate you? Do you get frustrated when you're in traffic? Do you get annoyed with the sheer stupidity of humanity unfolding all around you? A lot of you guys are nodding your head right now because I'm with you, brother. There is some amazing stupidity out there, like the old picture of the 3 dudes who are at a baseball game and they all have baseball caps on, which are all backwards. The sun's in their eyes, so they all have their hands up to their foreheads, blocking their eyes from the sun, right? It's the symbol of stupidity that runs rampant through humanity. But your job as an unapologetic man is to rise above those things that frustrate you. Rise above your emotions, because what are emotions? They're feminine. So use the energy of masculinity to ensconce yourself in your own discipline. Because while impatience, frustration, being annoyed is a definite outcome of masculinity, masculinity also gives you the power to overcome it by being patient, by recognizing it in yourself and using it as energy to get to the next level. So when those frustrated things come up, instead of getting emotional about it, and certainly instead of complaining about it, because complaining only creates more of it, use the frustrated energy to propel you to the next stage of greatness. Go to the gym, listen to my playlist on Spotify, Mark's Lift Heavy Ass Weights, and get that energy out like war through your veins at the gym. The next seemingly negative thing that comes out of masculinity is apathy, not caring about other people's struggles. When you're highly in your masculine energy, you could take a lot of pain. In fact, it's been proven that when you're highly in your testosterone, highly in your masculine, you can't feel fear the way other people feel fear. And this is why when armies go into battle, they get each other jacked up, they do war cries, is because testosterone literally nullifies fear. So when you're in high testosterone and you see somebody else who's in fear, they're complaining, a woman, for example, is crying because somebody called her a canyon mule and she's really sensitive and she actually let the negativity of somebody else get to her, it's hard for us to empathize with women like that. This is why oftentimes women are disappointed in a man who they were previously attracted to. Why are they attracted to them? Because he has high masculinity. What's an offset of high masculinity? Lack of empathy. Because the man doesn't suffer as much from his own thoughts, situations that happen in his life, anything fear-based, as well as getting hated on. Because he's so ensconced in his own reality. He's so fired up to get towards his goal. He's not looking behind him, wondering what's chasing him, nor does he care about other people's opinions. So when a woman, for example, gets emotional and we're apathetic towards her, that could be a negative consequence of having that high masculinity. Unless, of course, you recognize it within yourself and then you just wrinkle your eyebrows, stare at her mouth as she talks, and literally say nothing. Just empathize with her. But at the same time, it's okay for that conversation to be going on inside your head where you're like, I literally have no idea why she cares about this. I have no idea why she's crying right now, why she's so emotional, because her boss said something that she's literally going to forget about in 2 days. And then you, as the masculine man, what are you? You're solution oriented. So you're like, hey, baby, just go ahead and talk to your boss. Let him know how you feel. You guys will bust through it and you'll get back on the path to greatness in a couple of days. Bad idea, gentlemen. Yes, we want to be empathetic with her, but do not try to solve her problems. So an offshoot of masculinity is a little bit of apathy. But if you have that, recognize it, know that it's a symbol that you're highly in your masculine energy, and then take means to overcome it when it could have negative effects on your life. I have a lot of girlfriends, okay? So I'm around females all the time. I'm highly in my masculine, especially when I no longer look like a chicken McNugget with tits, but me and my boy Hung Yi, we fucking cut, and now I'm shredded and I have gills down by my Adonis belt, rocking the 9 to 10% body fat, and I can't get down with all the drama that goes on in the goddamn sewing circle of my female friends group. But when they complain to me, when they do certain things like that, what I do is I keep my opinion to myself. Why? Because I'm disciplined. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to fucking say, dude, you're a sea donkey. Why are you so concerned about this shit? It means nothing. Move past it, man the fuck up, put on your Spartan helmet, get into battle and get sprayed with blood, you stupid ass bitch. I'm not going to say that. Okay, I'm not an idiot. What I do again is I stare at their mouth, wrinkle my eyebrows, I get very present, and I just listen to them and I have discipline, bro, tater cuff. Because discipline prevents you from going into those seemingly negative things that come out of having a high testosterone by having high masculinity. The next one, you want to have a lot of sex. You love women. Brother, that is absolutely fine. There is so much shame in society today making you feel shameful about your sexuality. Fuck all that, bro, migo. You are born into this world to procreate. Did you know that? Look, if everything goes black at the end of the day, and we have no other purpose on this world, we can all agree that the purpose of life is to simply procreate, to spread our genes so that our DNA continues. If you look at life from such a base level of existence, and by the way, being highly in your masculine energy, you might be inclined to believe something like that. So, are you going to criticize yourself because you're hornier than a rabbit in spring solstice? Fuck no. You're so horny you'd fuck a snake if you could hold it straight. You'd bang the frothy armpit of a fat girl on the Stairmaster, and that's okay. So stop trying to hold back in yourself your sexuality. Stop trying to hold back in yourself looking at a hot girl at the gym who, as I've talked about in a previous episode, wants attention. Don't leer at her. Don't be creepy about it, but take a look, take a little screenshot, as I call them, and look at her in your mind and be like, God damn, that girl is beautiful. And it's okay for you to admire women. So impatience, getting frustrated, getting annoyed, lacking empathy, and being ridiculously attracted to women with a ball sack that just won't quit, it's all okay. But you have to recognize that inside yourself and control that shit. Because yes, they seemingly are the negative attributes of masculinity. Unfortunately, there's a movement in this world where people are attacking masculinity. And as I spoke about in a recent episode as well, I am here to defend it. I am here to defend you. Because if this continues, not only is it going to make a bunch of guys like you and me miserable, heterosexual men who absolutely love women and we want to have sex with them, but also the worst consequence would be we can't procreate anymore. Because of the mass pussification of all the males in this goddamn society, testosterone is going down, which means sperm count is going down. So let's get that shit up. Let's step into masculinity. Let's fucking be proud of it. You, me, and the rest of the brothers in the unapologetic man army. Shield to shield, shoulder to shoulder, 50 shields deep, 1,000 across. We are never out of this fight. And we are not going to give up the fight because there's so many haters out there telling us we should. Hell no, brothers. Masculinity steps forth to the challenge. And I am here, shoulder to shoulder with you, to lead that fight. So as I spoke about at the top of the show, discipline is also part of being masculine. What is your higher objective? I know what it is. It's to become the best version of yourself. It's to step into your masculinity unapologetically. It's to get as many women as you can, or at least build a skill set where you can attract the best woman possible. It's about making money, crushing goals, taking the hand you were dealt in this life, and making a royal flush with it. That's the purpose of why you're here. And the most important thing you can leverage on your journey is that discipline. So when the frustration comes up, when the impatience comes up, when the annoyance comes up, when you get a boner because you look at a fine girl's butt, know that that means you're masculine. That means your testosterone is at the correct levels because you were born a man. You were born to run off the gasoline of testosterone. And those are just symbols that it's happening. But control yourself, have discipline. If you're getting annoyed, know that that initial feeling is simply impatience. But if you spiral down into the emotion of it, if you buy into it and let it bring your state down, that's feminine. So with discipline, you control it. You say, you know what? I'm feeling annoyed right now. It's kind of sick because that means I'm super fucking masculine. So it's kind of dope. But I'm not going to let it drag me down into this feminine energy of then getting pissed off. I'm going to control it with my discipline. Why? Because I want to become the best man I possibly can. And I'm not going to let her complaining, a car accident, me losing my wallet, or whatever it might be affect my state. My state of peace is the most important thing to me. And I'm going to use the exceptionally powerful tool of masculinity to maintain that frame. What is frame control? Frame control is your interpretation of reality. It's leading women to where they want to be led. It's being unaffected by other people's thoughts about you. And it's believing wholeheartedly in your own reality. Well, if you believe wholeheartedly in your own reality, then can outside circumstances affect you so negatively? Of course not. So a man who's truly masculine is imperturbable. And for those of you who don't have a dictionary in your brain, imperturbable means unaffected, unmoved, can't be emotionally pushed off your entered state of centeredness. And that is the essence of masculinity. So all these negative things that I've discussed today, they're simply a symbol that you're highly in your testosterone. For that, brother, smack yourself on the ass so hard when the concussion hits, it blows the fucking ball sack right out of your pants because you are a champion, you are a man, and be proud of that fact. But don't let it drag you down. Use discipline, which is also a masculine trait, to rise above it and become the best version of yourself you possibly can be. And finally, gentlemen, if you're not jacking weights, if you're not trying to cut down that body fat, I cannot suggest it enough to make you just feel absolutely spectacular as a dude, because the more body fat you have on you, the more it produces estrogen. Estrogen obviously takes down your testosterone, and the worse you're going to feel. The more you get rid of body fat, and I'm not expecting you to be like 9 to 10% like me and Hong Yi are. Actually, I think Hong Yi is down to 5% because he's about to do a bodybuilding competition. I don't expect you to be there, but get it down to as much as you possibly can. And this isn't an episode on how to do diet, but quick tip, just don't eat sugar and simple carbohydrates like breads and pastas, and that shit will fucking melt off you. If you just stop eating sugar, and it's a little bit harder than it sounds, I'm not talking just Airheads and Skittles, I'm also talking about yogurt and other crap that has sugar in it. If you just don't eat sugar as well as simple carbohydrates, that shit will melt off you. You will feel so amazing. You will be jacked. You will get women more attracted to you. You'll be highly in your testosterone, and you'll be able to fuck like a goddamn rabbit during the spring solstice, as I alluded to earlier. It's completely worth it, and I want you guys to be unapologetic about your masculinity. You were born a man. You were born with testicles. You were born to procreate. So go do it and be completely unapologetic about it. Leverage that masculinity that has created so many feats of engineering, ingenuity, progress, technology. That's masculine because masculine goes towards its goal. Capitalism is masculine. So embrace it. Don't let society tell you it's wrong. Be unapologetic about it. And if somebody questions you, laugh at them as if they just complimented you and say, I'm afraid I can't help you with that. Gentlemen, I do appreciate you listening. As a reminder, I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays. And the second reminder, my coaching program is open. If you're ready to step into your masculinity, face your fears like a fucking man, tackle the BS programming and traumas and other crap that's inside your head like an unapologetic alpha silverback, go to my website, CoachMarkSing.com, click on coaching, fill in the quick application. You and I will email back and forth a little bit. Then you're going to get on a free one-on-one breakthrough session with my boy, Victor Lynch. And we will talk about whether or not we can get you to your most ostentatious pie in the sky fantasy goals with women and step into that all important masculinity, because you too, brother, are a goddamn warrior. Let's start embracing that warrior within ourselves. I'm telling you, you will never feel better. I appreciate you listening, and I will see you in the next episode.